Hello and welcome back to the restoration station. This is episode 11 of the Scania 143 restoration series. From the last episode you said we did some work on this flyer. Got all these patches welded in. A piece down there, piece all the way up this side. Cap this end off. And we also got a piece put up here as well. So we still need to do some grinding back on here. That's one of the things I'm going to be doing today. I'm not going to bother videoing bits of grinding. I will show you the end result, but it's not very interesting just grinding welds back, so I won't bother with that bit. I am going to run a seam weld all the way down this inside edge, as I said earlier. Obviously I've seamed it all the way down this side, but we will be grinding this weld flush for painting purposes. Obviously we want it to look nice on that side, so by the time that weld's ground back it's not going to leave much strength in that panel, so I will seam weld it on the other side. Today I'm going to be cracking on with this side of the flyer, which wants quite a lot of attention on that top corner and also this bottom corner. Nowhere near as bad as that side were, so I've got the worst side out of the way first. So we're going to start with that and then hopefully we'll move on into the dreaded locker. I have been putting this off a little bit. It is worse than I first expected. I thought that one that I've already done was the worst one. It was worse in terms of the amount of rust that was in it, but this one, the repairs on this one are actually more awkward. Now it's been shot blasted and I can see what's actually going on under all that paint. It is quite worse than I thought it was going to be. Bear with me guys, let me grab a torch. Right, sorry about that, I've got a lamp here now. So I'll show you what I'm talking about in here. So I have cut some of this floor out, but as you can see, this body mount has been previously welded. I don't hold much hope in that, how much faith in that to carry the weight of this body. That steel plate is rather thin. So we are going to be cutting this out and we're going to be replacing that mount the same as we did on the other side, but there's just layer upon layer upon layer of stuff here. It's had angle irons welded on top of sheet steel. And all that needs cutting out. It's all quite awkward to get to. Same in there, you can see it's had patchwork. So we're going to be cutting all that out and putting some new floors in there, and then again spin this torch around a sec. Same again in there. There's just loads of stuff going on, and obviously we've got some holes in the back as well, which you can see, stuff like that, so they need to be sorted out. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of this done in this episode, but the more pressing thing at the minute is getting this flyer done so I can bang some primer on it, and then my body man can start prepping that and get some primer on it ready for paint. Okay, so done a little bit of chopping there, cut all this rot out of this corner, found a little bit, there's a bit of a blob in this corner, I hit it with an hammer and it went through, so I've cut that bit out as well. I've also chopped this section out up at the top. Around this side, still need to do a little bit of cleaning up on this plate, but that's all the rot now chopped out this flyer. So I'm going to start to measure up, get some plates cut, and then we'll start doing some welding. Right guys, so as you've seen there, we've made quite a bit of progress again tonight. That's all the welding now done on the flyer. We've got all these patches done in here. We've welded both sides of this. Obviously again, because we're going to be grinding the welds down on the outside, I want to keep some strength in it. We've done the patches up in that top corner, over the top as well, and round this side. I've actually flatted back the welds on this side just so you can see how it's going to look. We will be going over this with a light skimmer filler, obviously, before we paint it. But as you can see, that weld's more or less now invisible. Same again on this side. I've flatted back both of these runs of welds down here, so you can see again pretty much an invisible repair by the time it's painted. And same again, we are going to leave the welds on the inside untouched. All this is covered by checker plate as well, so you don't actually see the inside of this. We've got a load of brand new checker plate to go on here, which is over in the corner there. Just turn this torch on a sec. We've also done a load of cutting on these lockers. We've cut all these floors out down this side, and we've cut a big channel out all the way down this back edge because that was all rotten. And also there was a length of angle that span this full distance, which we've took off as well, all the way at that track. Obviously we will be putting a new piece in there. So we're basically just chopping out all the junk, all the patchwork and rust basically. We will be coming further up into here, but we've left this in at the moment because we need to start getting some strength back in this locker now, because obviously we've cut that much out, we don't want the thing to move. So we're going to replace these floors, probably cut a little bit more of this out because we're going to put the join behind this pillar there. So we'll cut a little bit more out and we'll join it there, and then I run straight to the back. Once we've got that strength back in, then we'll start to move forward and cut this other piece out, and we're also going to be looking at putting a new piece down here like we did on the other side as well. So that is some good progress made tonight. And last thing we are doing for the night, it's getting on again now, it's touching 12 o'clock at night, so we're going to do this and then we're going to call it a do. Both got work in the morning, so we don't want to be here much longer. We are giving this radiator and intercooler a good steam clean, cleaning it all out. We're going to put the jet wash inside as well and give it a flush in the radiator. Obviously we're not going to flush the intercooler. And then Tom can come in tomorrow, paint the radiator, paint the intercooler, and then they will be ready to go back on because we want these to dry overnight. If we wash them tomorrow, obviously they're going to be too wet to paint, so wash them tonight, let them dry overnight. Tom can paint them tomorrow, and then they can go back on the truck, because tomorrow, which is Monday, we are expecting all our stuff back from the zinc platers. So we're going to get all the brackets and everything back for the front, the torsion bar. We can then press all the new bushes and bearings in. We need to put the radiator and intercooler back in first, and then we can start to build up, put the torsion bar in, and we can get all the headlight brackets and everything back in, get that front end built back up, which will then allow us to tilt the cab. Once we've got the cab over, Tom can start to do all the stone chipping underneath that cab, get all that cleaned up. We can get the exhaust off, because currently it's sort of trapped in there because we've got it lifted up on the gantry. And then once the cab's over again, we can access all these rear bushes, because there's absolutely nothing left of them, and it's the same on that side. So we've got all new bushes for these, all genuine Scania bushes. We can then do that. Once the cab is back in its locked position, we can then remove that gantry, take it back here. We can take the weight of this underlift, and then we can knock these pins out of the ram, and we can get these rams off, get them repaired. Once them rams are back on, we can then paint all that underlift, get the welding done on the lockers, paint the back of the lockers. Lockers can go on, and then we can start to paint all the sides. We're going to be painting the lockers on the truck, as I've mentioned a couple of times, because we don't want to paint them off and then damage them while we're putting them back on with the stacker and stuff like that. So we're going to paint the back, probably paint the inside, and then we're going to paint the outside of the lockers and the cab in one hit, hopefully. So that's going to be it for tonight, guys, and that is going to be it for episode 11. Plenty of progress again. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a like, give us a share, drop us some comments, let us know what you think. See you on the next one.